Okay, so Spotify has been trying to force feed AI into music discovery for the past forever now, and also ignored every single warning from artists that use Spotify and actively publish their work there. So yeah, now it's dealing with a massive amount of backlash entirely of its own making. Let's get into it, boys. Shoutouts to Creative Blog for the article. Before we get started though, I will politely ask that you guys like and subscribe if you are sick and tired of AI seeping into everything that you love. Here on this channel, I like to cover this stuff every single day, so if you guys are as tired of this junk as I am, be sure to stick around. Yeah, it turns out infinite content isn't necessarily a good thing, the subtitle of this article says, and yeah, I would happily agree, because, you know, the ability to infinitely churn something out usually means that the content in question is not very good quality. Usually it means it's very lazy in its creation if you can produce it infinitely. That's usually the case when it comes to some cynical garbage like this, but yeah. There's something grimly satisfying about the news that Spotify has deemed it necessary to relegate AI-generated music to its own corner of the platform. From September, the streaming service has announced it will start labeling some profiles as AI personas and keeping them out of users' recommendation feeds. The fact that it took these idiots this long to make this very dire, very necessary forever ago ass change is pretty sad. It's good news that Spotify wants to tackle the epidemic of AI content on its platform, but it also looks like a crystal clear admission by a big tech brand that something has gone wrong and we're surrounded by slop. Spotify recently announced that it has removed 75 million spammy tracks. Deezer has shared the alarming statistic that more than half of the tracks uploaded to its service every day are AI generated. The proliferation of AI slop isn't some distant problem, it's happening now, and you might be listening to it without even realizing it. Those lo-fi beats you were working to, who knows who made them, and whether it was a person at all. And that's actually something that I think I'm a victim of when it comes to lo-fi music. There's this song called Moon by Lee, and then YouTube's autoplay nonsense when it comes to its music played some other song by an artist called Lee, and the album art is very clearly AI generated crap with some melodramatic, like, chill sounding shit on it. So, like, even me, the guy who's the anti-AI newscaster or whatever, is not safe from such a thing. But yeah, let's move on. Nobody asked for this. Users didn't wake up one morning demanding an endless supply of synthetic artists with supposedly polished album covers and just as suspiciously polished beats. And real artists certainly didn't ask to be buried beneath a bunch of algorithmically produced background noise. We've gone so far as to say AI is killing music, with fake bands like The Velvet Sundown drowning the platform with crisp, yet somehow dead behind the eyes soundscapes. Spotify isn't alone. YouTube has recently tightened its approach to low-quality AI content by demonetizing accounts. You want to know a fun fact? This channel right here got demonetized and censored by YouTube for an entire month because it thought that I was an AI channel. And then I had to start using a face cam just to make sure that YouTube was aware that I am a person. So yeah, it's YouTube does not discriminate. Use a face cam. If you're a commentary YouTuber, use a fucking face cam or else. LinkedIn is letting users report posts that they think are AI. On top of that, like, it's encouraging that the tide seems to be turning, with badges and filters naming, shaming, and most importantly, hiding artificially generated content. But this feels very much like a problem of big tech's own making. Both AI and streaming promise infinite content. Combining the two is a recipe for infinite slop. That's the end of the article, and I gotta say, no, it's a recipe for infinite disaster is what the hell it is. The number one thing that I want to make sure, while it is good to see that these companies and platforms are finally sweeping up AI slop off the platform bit by bit, I do also want to say that, folks, what you are seeing before your eyes right now is a very predictable failure from a bunch of companies that are only obsessed with automation instead of artistry, that are only obsessed with the money as opposed to the passion. And I don't want to necessarily say that wanting money means you're a bad person. Obviously not. People got to pay their goddamn bills, right? But when it comes to platforms like these, you need to balance a healthy mixture of profit and passion, is what I'm trying to say. It is good to see that platforms are now sweeping this junk up, but I hate to sound like a dick, but you should have done it sooner. I'm just going to be straight up. Like, you should have done it sooner. Maybe that's me. Maybe that makes me look like an a-hole, but that's just how I feel on the matter. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are y'all's? Whatever it is, be sure to let me know in the comment section. But past that, that's gonna wrap this one up. This is Jack Talks Back, signing out. You guys have a good one.